and welcome to something slightly new for the Cage Side Combat podcast. I'm Connor, and I'm here as always with Kyle.
Hello.
We're not with Brad this time. If you saw my tweet earlier, he's in court after one of his impression videos got out. There's some charges of hate crimes against him currently going on, so he's not been able to join us. But we're doing something new. We're going to be rewatching our boy Darren in the fight against Stephen Thompson. And if you haven't seen it, we will be speaking about who wins throughout the fight, so kind of spoiler warnings already. But Kyle, obviously you attended the fight, so are you looking forward to looking back on the fight properly? Have you had a chance to look back on the fight?
I haven't watched it back yet. I did listen to Joe Rogan's Fight Companion and heard them talk about it, and so I haven't rewatched it, but I've refreshed myself. I guess I'm looking forward to watching it again. Yeah.
It was people have been calling boring, but I really enjoyed it. And that's not me trying to be pretentious and act like I really I'm into all the technical. That's not what I'm doing. I really genuinely enjoyed it.
I think there's a difference between the fight. A lot of people are talking about, obviously, because Wonderboy has had the boring fights with Woodley. I think a lot of people are comparing it to that. And it's like, but that was different because that was two people who were not pulling the trigger, and it didn't really seem like we're trying to win the fight. Whereas Thompson and Till were trying to win the fights. It's just both are so dangerous. I don't know.
Hard.
It was different for me watching it. I was like, this is... I mean, if you're a casual fan, you probably, maybe not, but I found it engaging and stuff, whereas the Woodley-Thompson ones, I was just like, can we speed this up a little bit or something? But I don't know. I feel like also because big fans of Stephen Thompson and Darren Till, that helps, definitely, because we were looking forward to it so much. We were like, like, every punch was thrown was like, so, you know, but yeah.
The atmosphere as well, it was obviously... You felt it so much more being there, but even just watching it, I was so into it. I think I gave my friend earache shouting when Darren Till dropped Wonderboy in the final round.
Crazy!
I was so loud.
Yeah,
but so the fight's just starting. 58, 57, 56, 55, 54.
Okay.
Cool. So hopefully we are synced up now. But this is pretty much how it starts, is the majority of the fight. Yeah. With Till pushing Wonderboy to the back of the cage, trying to cut him off. And Thompson doing Thompson's lateral movement and kind of the use of the sidekick.
Yeah.
It's what he's known for, but
one of the things
he just does so well.
I found really interesting that I hadn't thought about, but when they say it, it's so obvious. But Till was talking about how he kept saying that he was going to finish him in the first round, and he made Wonderboy kind of expect it. So I think Till was saying he kept looking at Wonderboy, and what he felt like Wonderboy was looking at him like, why isn't he coming at me right now? Like, what? I don't know. I think that was a mind game from Till. Till said he always knew this was going to be a 5-round chess match, but that's
I don't know if you heard the cornering in between round 1 and round 2.
No.
But that's what Darren Till's coaches are. They're saying, and they were expecting Wonderboy to kind of be a bit open.
Yeah.
But they've realised actually he's scared and he's been really defensive. And they said to Till to go out in the second round and kind of be a bit more forward pushing because he's not expecting it as much.
Yeah, I think also that bleeds into the sort of idea with Thompson maybe having these sort of fights. It's just the style of fighter that he is. He's so difficult to fight. Even somebody like Jorge Masvidal, who puts on great fights, he had to be so cautious that it ended up, because he didn't want to go charge at him and get knocked out, ended up Wonderboy just won a decision comfortably because he was able to get out the way all the time. That's what you get. You either you
can't have a sort of all-out Diego Sanchez.
Oh, yeah. No, you're never going to have Thompson. That. You're either going to have Wonderboy winning a decision or him getting a knockout and people saying it's amazing, or he does what he does and outpoints people. You know, it's...
I think in a weird way you can liken it to Khabib Nurmagomedov because you can... they can control what the fight's like.
Yeah.
Like, Habib controls whether he wants it on the ground, feet, and kind of Wonderboy does the same. You try and impose your game plan on him, and it's quite hard to.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is almost up to him how it wants to go. And with Khabib, you saw with the Iaquinta fight, if he wants to keep it standing, it's going to be a bit riskier, a bit more high action.
Yeah.
But if he wants to take it down and make it a beating, he has the potential to do that, which must
He can
be
do what he wants.
absolutely terrifying to be
But
fighting.
also helps so much.
Yeah.
It's always one thing was always when they went close and Till always went for the clinch and the knees, and then Wonderboy kept throwing just over the top.
Yeah.
I think that was one thing that scared me. I don't know whether it was the second or third round where they did the same, and Wonderboy really got off some shots.
Yeah, Wonderboy was saying after the fight how he kept blitzing towards Till to try and get him to back up, and Till would instead, like you said, he wouldn't
he
move.
just stands there and clinch.
Which I think, although it when he kept doing it and Thompson was landing, I was like, oh, but at the same time, I think it's a great strategy because it means that Wonderboy never was able to relieve the pressure. Apart from when he would throw a head kick and Till would back up a little bit, that was the only breathing space he got, really. So
But the thing is, Thompson gets a lot of his power when either he's on the front foot walking towards someone, or someone's on the front foot walking towards him. That's where he gets the majority of kind of the power from his strikes.
Yeah.
But Till's not allowing that because he was obviously walking towards Thompson, but not at a great pace. He was just slowly pushing. Constant slowly, and he never backed off.
I think
He would
it's
step back
so
to
smart.
a point, but never back off.
It's such a smart thing from Till as well. Also, when you see some of the positions he has Wonderboy in, and the crowd was going crazy for him to hit him and stuff because he's got him where he wants him, but he doesn't because where most fighters would because they'd be like, "I've got him. This is what I wanted." He said afterwards, he was like, you can't do that. Wonderboy's that good. I know. Sure, it looks like I could throw my left hand and hit him, but realistically, is he going to be there? No. Which is so smart.
The one comparison I always say to Wonderboy is that it's kind of like he's got a magnet just on him, and whenever he tries to, whenever someone tries to throw a strike at him, it just repels, and he kind of just somehow backs away, and he's just never there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
At the end of the first round, I gave when I watched it first, I gave the first round to Thompson.
Yeah, I think so too. He did a good job of getting out of the way.
But again, Till was cautious.
Yeah, and it's because there was two scorecards that were four rounds to Till. Was that the round they gave to Wonderboy? I haven't looked at the scorecard.
I'll get the scorecards up.
Because even then, that was a razor thin round.
That's the problem. A lot of them are close, and kind of the big thing that has been said about like the scorecards and stuff like that is the forward pressure. I think in that one, I still would give it to Thompson because Till didn't throw as much.
No.
And Thompson clearly landed more strikes. But I think that was definitely the Thompson rounds.
I've just remembered also something that I feel like Brad is going to absolutely love. Some guy in front of me chanted this chant that he had made up that didn't rhyme. It was terrible. And he only said it once and nobody sang it with him, so clearly he realised it wasn't catching on. But I feel like Brad will love this. He said, he's big, he's scouse, he's got really high up pants, it's Darren Till. And
really high up.
He said that once. He said that once. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the effort. I thought it was funny. But yeah, nobody else in the arena reacted. Nobody laughed or anything like that. It was sort of strange, but yeah.
Was it Brad?
I did see. I saw a guy whilst I was waiting in a queue at the weigh-ins, and I thought it was Brad. And I was like, I swear to God, if he's bought a ticket on the door for like cheap price again, I'd be fuming.
No, I'd be fuming. I'm not going.
Yeah.
See, just looking back to the fight, which just speaking about Brad.
Hey, it's fine
even when he's not here.
No matter.
But when they clinch up again, Till just throw in that knee. But I don't even in a clinch, Thompson's never there. It's just amazing how he could just see strikes and avoid them so quickly.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. I mean, he's. I mean, that's why he was so established in kickboxing. He's literally the best at what he does, which is hitting people and not getting hit. Like, he's incredible at it. The only thing that is sort of weird is the fact that he's so good at it, yet he just doesn't seem to do enough sometimes. It's like it needs to be a bit more convincing. But I mean, that was close. That was close.
I think the one thing I also like is whenever Thompson went in for a lead hook just over the top, Till was kind of used this guard where he'd put up a full block, but also step in to Thompson and almost using the block elbow him.
Yeah, I think
and it's just it's the whole thing about never taking a step back.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that obviously Till was quite limited with putting on weight because he still had to make 188.
Well, yeah,
but
that's a big thing to think about whilst having to fight.
Yeah, but as crazy as that is, he still uses his size with the clinch with Wonderboy stepping
massively
forward. He's just like, I'm not moving. So that's crazy to think that he can.
Strength is
still
insane.
Do that. Yeah. This is just, I don't know. This fight just, compared to all these boring sort of chess match fights that have happened, this one just doesn't seem boring to me, which is strange because you look at the amount of strikes thrown and you're like, wow, okay.
I think I wrote one of my articles. I mentioned it. I think it was a combined 77.
Wow.
I think it might have been something more than that. But I think overall they both threw just over 100, and I think only about 70, 80 something landed throughout in 5 rounds, which is just insane.
It is, but then also you look at both of them, and both of them are sort of built to fight 5 rounds. Both of them are quality over quantity. Thompson probably throws more just because he likes to keep his range a bit more, but they both are known for picking shots. So I don't think anyone was expecting high output. So
I think the one thing though, if you speak about fighting 5 rounds, is that I feel every fighter should be able to fight 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Because even you could be the lowest down, I feel you should be able to fight 5 rounds. I don't get people gassing kind of 3 rounds in, even with heavyweights now. Kind of Stipe Miocic can fight 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And I think all fighters should be able to. Obviously, I definitely couldn't. I couldn't do the first 10 seconds, but I think all fighters should be able to fight 5 rounds.
The leg kicks of Till as well were a big factor.
I think it was the ones where he would step forward and it would be kind of like a John Jones.
Yeah, I was going to say John Jones-esque.
What do you make of them constantly like high-fiving and?
Yeah, I was listening to Rogan's Fight Companion and they were getting really annoyed at it, saying like,
Rogan hates that stuff.
He was like, "Why do they keep doing it?" And I was like, "Well, you just weren't watching because a lot of the times it would be one of them would throw a very risky strike and they'd both sort of acknowledge it, like, yeah, nice try, mate." Like,
so, yeah, I hate it. I can't remember what it was early on in the fight, not in this fight, early on in the card, where 2 people came out and they had a big hug just before the end of the 3rd round. I hate that. But I like when they're kind of they both know that it's like almost like point scoring, and they're kind of respecting each other for that, and I quite like that.
I think that fight was I can't remember either of the guys' names, but it was an Italian guy and an English guy.
Yeah, I tweeted about it.
And it was a good fight as well.
Was it? I also want to say like Pinelda. I'll scroll.
I do have the card up, so I'll have a quick look. Carlo Pedasoli Jr. versus Brad Scott. I believe it was that one because it was a round apiece going into the 3rd.
Yeah, no, it was.
And that was a good fight.
No, oh yeah, no, I did. It was. So I tweeted 10-9 Pedasoli, great body kicks and a strong take. last round. My next tweet was, "Please save your hugging until after the fight."
There was a moment where Rogan was they were saying like, I don't get what's happening. Why do they keep doing it? And I remember which bit it is because one of them throws, I think, a head kick, and then the other one tries it right afterwards, and they're both just like, okay, like touche. And I was like, that's a really good moment. But yeah, Rogan wasn't having any of it.
For the second, I gave the second to Till.
Mm-hmm.
And I looking back, it was one of the 49-46 judges. So Paul Sutherland gave the first 2 rounds to Till. Every judge gave Till the second round. It was Paul Sutherland gave the first round to Till. He was the judge that did.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the second round to Till, I think the leg kicks were really good in the second round. And he just managed to keep Wonderboy at bay more. But I remember thinking Wonderboy won this round. But I mean, it's so close. It really is. And I think a lot of people made the point with the first Wonderboy versus Woodley fight that Wonderboy never hurt Woodley. And Woodley hurt Wonderboy, so he won the fight. And you could...
that's what Schaub said on the Fight Companion, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because they weren't watching it, but they were like, kind of, that last bit.
Yeah. Because
Phil got him.
The only real significant strike landed was the one that knocked down Wonderboy. So you could think of it like that. I mean, most fights obviously have plenty of more significant strikes, so that's not really a factor, but you could think of it like that. I mean, it's a reasonable way to judge a fight, but I don't know.
The one thing that, going back to that Pedasoli fight, and I mentioned in my tweet about the body kicks, that was a southpaw versus an orthodox, and obviously that leaves open to the body kick, and with high strikers like Till and Thompson, that's probably less likely to happen. But Pedasoli really effectively used that body kick kind of just to the side. And Scott wasn't defending, but it was just such a useful weapon. And I think there's been a lot of focus with like leg kicks and how much they've come, like how important they are now. But I still think a body kick just, it can really weaken. And you saw in Scott, because Scott had a great first round.
Yeah.
But as soon as Pedasoli started landing the body kicks,
it really took it out of him.
It really took it out of him.
And we're watching right now as for a good minute and a half there, they were both in the middle of the octagon, and then Till's just pushing forward, and then Wonderboy goes in for a blitz, and Till just stands there, which means he has to back up. So, and just like that, he's got control again.
But this is what I like. This is the thing that I kind of got really excited about was when Wonderboy's back was against the cage.
Oh yeah. Oh, as soon as he had his back
perfectly.
As soon as Till would put his arms out to like make himself look bigger, the whole crowd went crazy every time because they were waiting on Till dropping a bomb on him.
Yeah, it's brilliant to watch for me, and I just really am enjoying it.
Yeah,
I really can't see why people didn't.
And we were talking about
I did.
Go on.
I watched it with kind of two casual fans, and I don't think they were as impressed, and I can understand that.
Yeah.
But for people that I've seen that kind of really, like, I saw some, I think it might have been Bloody Elbow, the kind of online MMA magazine, the guy who was tweeting that really didn't like the fight. And I didn't really know why.
Yeah, I think if you're a casual fan, I think it makes sense. You need to have the background of the fact that these two guys are two of the most high-level strikers in MMA. Because otherwise you're like, oh, well, neither of them are doing anything. But if you understand that who they both are and how dangerous they both are.
Oh, yeah.
And how much, like, they don't normally fight like this. Normally they dominate their opponents and pick them apart. You're like, okay, that makes sense. You got two high-level guys. That makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
I love Till getting eye poked and wanting to go back to fight with pretty much his eyes closed.
Yeah, I was confused at that. I was thinking, he can take more time here. I get that he doesn't want, he wants to keep pressuring Wonderboy, but I remember him coming out a bit.
That's one thing that annoyed me, was the spinning back fist. That I didn't know what was he using the other arm for balance, or it was interesting technique. I also like Till waving away the boos.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Is that Kyle in the crowd? I don't know.
Who knows? I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
I think I gave that round to Thompson. Kind of looking back, that's a close round.
Yeah, I think I gave it to Thompson as well. But yeah, looking back on it, not too sure.
Looking at the scorecards, two judges gave it to Thompson. One judge gave it to Till.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that's probably fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting. Again, you kind of have to take. I kind of refer to it as the Brazil factor. But if you're facing someone in their kind of hometown that's a bit rowdy, like a Dublin or a Liverpool or a Brazil, just entire Brazil.
I think it's different with Brazil, because Brazil are known for favoritism for their fighters, whereas I don't think it's necessarily favoritism. And obviously, I'm sure everybody who works for the UFC was hoping Darren Till won this,
yeah.
But
because it's a real, but it's kind of the worst way it could have gone, to be honest, because he missed weight and it was a controversial decision.
Yeah.
I think it could have. It's kind of like, hey, you can have Till winning, but this has to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You're a bit like.
Yeah, you look at the buzz that Till got off of the Cowboy fight, and considering I love Cowboy, but he wasn't on a great run. He starts notoriously slow in the first round, and he's not a natural 170, and Till's huge. He got so much buzz off of that because he knocked him out in the first round. Whereas he outpointed a striker who has been outpointing people for years and years and years without losing. And it's like...
That's a point that's... It's hard to kind of make it over the... Kind of when you miss weight, that's always going to be like around you. And obviously, Molly McCann's the first and only fighter this year to have missed weight and not won the fight.
Yeah,
I think it's something stupid like 7-1 now or 8-1.
Yeah,
so it's a great camp, missed weight. I think I might need to join myself. But, I think it's hard to look past the missed weight, but he genuinely went in and out Wonderboy'd Wonderboy.
Yeah, I think what's annoying about the missed weight thing is it's always going to say that he missed weight for that fight, and people are always going to go, but realistically, okay, sure, he didn't cut the extra 3 pounds for the initial weigh-in, but he also had to weigh 188 for the fight, so it's not like he was significantly heavier going into the actual fight. Like, Till took full responsibility and was like, sure, I've been through some stuff in the last couple of hours, but, I'm not going to make excuses, I missed weight. And he also said he doesn't deserve the title shot next, and that Wonderboy does, which is...
I saw that, I retweeted that, and so much respect.
Yeah, of course. But he also said it was 3 pounds. Like, people discrediting the fact that I've just beaten him because I weighed over 3 pounds is crazy.
Yeah, no, but what always gets me is I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, that's... When it goes down to small weights, like, he's missed weight by a pound. And then I actually think about how much a pound, like, actually weighs. Yeah. I'm like, oh, wait, actually, that's what the hell? But then I'm thinking, oh wait, he's Mackenzie Dern's missed weight by 7 pounds.
Yes.
Okay, that's not too bad. And then I'm like, actually, 7 pounds is half a stone.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot of arse to miss.
Especially for a grappler.
I had Brad in my ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one was for you, Brad. Gone but not forgotten. This round again has been so close because Thompson has landed some good strikes, but Till worked quite well in the clinch.
Yeah, even
again,
now,
that spinning back fist. What is that? I really don't like it.
It must have been something that they saw in Thompson's game, but I mean.
But he's throwing spinning back fists against Thompson. Like, who would?
That's crazy. But also, if you're gonna try and catch Wonderboy out with something that he's not expecting, maybe don't give it away so much.
Yeah, with whatever his other arm is doing.
Has there ever been anybody to throw such an elaborate spinning back fist? It's like Yoel Romero when he throws big shots. You can normally see it. He does that step thing, and then he does it. It's like even if he misses, he's gonna make it look bloody good. And then it's like Darren Till is trying to make it look really fancy. I don't know.
See, but the thing is though, with a spinning back fist, when you spin and kind of throw the back fist, the other arm stays down as either like a block or to kind of like follow up if you do miss it. But when he's throwing the spinning back fist and his arm's in the air, it leaves him open.
Yeah, but
obviously he's kind of relying on the fact that Thompson's not gonna counter it and kind of just try and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah, it did seem weird as well because he would back him up and then throw it, and Wonderboy just gonna step out the way and circle. So it was like, okay, all right, yeah.
See, I gave that round to Wonderboy, but all 3 judges gave that one to Till.
I feel like Wonderboy did land less when they did exchange.
I think Till did well in the clinch and kind of ignoring the spinning.
Yeah,
the spinning back fist. I feel that's kind of on the same level for me as Tony Ferguson's sunglasses. I just really don't like it. Really don't like it. But I think, but still, kind of in my head, that round was a lot closer than when I first saw it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'd give it. That's a really tight one.
Another thing that they talk about with the scoring, if you think of it like a triangle, you think of like significant strikes and stuff at the top, and then grappling and stuff. And one of the things they do account for is like octagon control, and that round had very little action.
Yeah.
So if you're like, okay, we can't judge it solely off of that, we got to move down. Was there grappling? No. Okay, octagon control. He controlled the pace, all of that sort of stuff. That all went to Till. So
I saw a Big John tweet, and kind of when Big John speaks, you sort of have to listen.
Yeah.
He kind of did make up most of the rules for MMA, but wait, I'll try and scroll back and find the tweet he said after the decision was announced, whilst trying not to miss Till drop. But I think he said something about kind of the whole thing with octagon control. I saw I don't really watch much Bellator, but I watched Bellator 200.
Yeah.
And I really do like Big John on commentary.
Yeah, his insight is
in the ring.
Phenomenal. It's it's weird.
Him and Mauro.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
But it is also good.
When he's interviewing fighters, and he's bigger than pretty much all of them.
Yeah, it's quite weird.
I can't find the tweet he said about it. Yeah, no, I can't find his tweet. Oh yeah, sorry, but controlling the octagon does not give you the round. Wonderboy landed cleaner, harder shots in the first 3 rounds. Sad that people are supposed to know about the sport are lacking greatly in their knowledge of what scored in a round is.
See, I remember seeing that and being like, okay, well, like you said, when Big John says something, you got to listen. But if you look at it, Till landed more on the stats, and Wonderboy's the shots that Wonderboy did land weren't exactly, they weren't like clean strikes. So
if you're talking about damage, I
yeah,
think Darren Till definitely gave away more damage.
yeah, he beat up his leg, which Thompson said he had a real problem with his kicks.
Really bruised upper thigh.
Yeah. Oh, another thing we were talking about with the
that
kicks.
Right upper thigh.
With the kicks of Darren Till, we were talking about how he had said, I haven't been able to use my kicks yet, and I'm a better kicker than I am a puncher, and because like he had pretty much just used his left hand and elbows before, but his kicks look, he doesn't look out of place kicking next to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
That's the point. You can't really kick against Wonderboy Thompson. Kind of a fight to show off his kicking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed when he went for the guillotine.
See, no, but I think he went for the guillotine. But I think if he stuck at it, he could have got it.
Yeah.
But he tried to. Well, he sweeped around behind.
I think the moment got to him a little bit there. Because he goes for a guillotine, then he's like, no, maybe I should finish him with strikes, and then I think
if he guillotined and pulled guard,
yeah,
he definitely would have had him. Because kind of when you're in, obviously Thompson's quite a good recovery, as you can see. He's back up.
Ridiculous, insane recovery.
But you've just been dropped, and he's attacking your neck, and you're just trying to get up. And I think it's quite hard because it's the 5th round. They're quite sweaty at the moment, so he could have easily popped it up. But you kind of also saw it when he tried to take the back and just slipped off of him.
Yeah, I did shout when he got the guillotine. You can't guillotine Wonderboy. He's got a small head. Just for the record, I did.
That's true.
And Woodley tried it, and Woodley has huge arms, and he still got out. So
one thing that really intrigues me is that takedown from Wonderboy was marked as unsuccessful.
Yeah, I thought it counted.
I thought it counted, but I don't know what marks as successful and unsuccessful.
Well, he didn't pin him down at all. But
he got him down and then Till got back up straight away.
That's what he didn't manage to control him on the ground at all. But in terms of just the definition of a takedown, he took him down to the ground. Immediately, they got right back up. But I don't. Yeah, that confused me as well when I saw that.
The problem is with this, when they're standing in front of each other in the middle of the octagon, I was saying like, one of you just go Diego Sanchez,
just charge forward,
throw everything,
go Vitor against Vanderlei, just run.
Like they stepped in and kind of hit, and they just stepped and looked at each other, and I was like,
yeah.
See here, the problem is the stream I had was behind Twitter. So at this point, I'm watching this and I'm like, he's celebrating. That's fair enough, home crowd. And I even tweeted saying that I don't think he beat him. I then scrolled down and I saw a tweet saying, like, I think there could be a controversial decision. And I retweeted and I was like, oh, could be. And then I saw Ariel Helwani tweet the results and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I looked towards my mum and said, I don't know if he's got this, I had it a draw, but I was like, I'm worried about that one. And then when Bruce Buffer was saying the scorecards, and he said that somebody, like, I can't remember what the actual score was.
49-46. It was 249.
As soon as he said 49-46, I was like, there's no way you could say that Till was that dominant. So if they'd given it to anybody, I would say Wonderboy. But then they said Darren Till, and place went crazy. So
place went nuts.
Yeah.
Just looking at the replays. See, but that Thompson shot that he did land wasn't a heavy one.
No.
I think Till he definitely landed the more power. Watching this fight back, I definitely agree more with the decision. Was that Ross Pearson?
No, I don't know. Was it?
I don't know. It's bald Englishman in the ring. I instantly go Ross Pearson.
Also on the Rogan Fight Companion, obviously I didn't experience this because I was there, but how much of the post-fight speech got cut out? It was so bad. Yeah, because the guys I was watching it with,
like didn't know, like they thought it was just bad sound quality.
Mm.
And then when one of them brought it up, and I said, no, that's how they cut out the swearing. But the post-fight speech, you could literally just hear him go, ah, but then they just played that generic like crowd cheering.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear him.
It was
just swear.
I found, I can't remember where I found, but I think, oh, it isn't Ross Pitt. Oh no, it's Terry Etim, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, that makes more sense.
Oh, remember him turning into a butler? I still haven't made that Photoshop. But yeah, wait, I'm just going to quickly turn it up, see if they've cut it out. I think they did. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
So they cut it out on B, yeah. So for the replay as well.
Yeah, I remember when they did that.
Damn you, Fox Sport.
I remember when they did that for 205 when McGregor won. I was going crazy. It was like, this is like an iconic moment right now, and you're censoring Conor McGregor. Oh, what is happening?
But the problem is, you couldn't actually hear the fan chants either. Like the fans going mental because they played the generic fan track over. So it was a bit like, you see him go mental, but
yeah,
it took it away. I think we've also got more stuff than just this fight to speak about on this kind of short edition.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of big news that I feel we should speak about. Michael Bisping, not officially, but has announced his retirement. There's an official statement coming out soon. How do you feel about it, Kyle?
I mean, it's softened the blow because it's felt like it's been sort of happened already. He hadn't officially said it. So it didn't hit me as hard because I was like, okay, I was expecting that. It's just sad, you consider like some of the send-offs that we've had and how emotional they've been. It's just sad that
Mark Munoz, as I mentioned.
Yeah, the legendary Mark Munoz send-off
against Luke Barnett.
But just that's the only thing that I'm annoyed at. I get why, like he doesn't have anything to prove, but it's just sad that we don't get that definitive moment. Like his last fight was him getting knocked out by Kelvin Gastelum. Like,
nice.
It's a bit.
To be
strange.
fair, that knockout, I wouldn't want to see him back after that knockout.
No, it's just frustrating that we won't have that final moment.
Won't be able to see him again.
But it's Michael Bisping. It's not like like, oh no, we won't remember him the same now. Like it's Michael Bisping. Like he's
not at all.
So
you don't remember Michael Bisping for the fighting. I feel that's
yeah.
But also, I think one thing is we were watching it with watching the Fox post and pre and post shows, and Bisping was on there, and my friend looked up and saw him and kind of just had to like double glance him and was like, Jesus, what's happened to his eye?
Yeah.
And even that, and I was just like, yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
like, it's not looking too good. So I'm kind of slow that he has retired. That I know, and we've spoken about how he can definitely move into presenting. That's definitely like a avenue for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite happy that he is moving on from that.
Yeah, it's
still sad because he's one of the possibly the greatest ever UK fighter.
Oh, I mean, unless Darren Till wins that belt and goes down as one of the greatest ever, I don't think anyone's ever going to rival Bisping. Like he can't. He brought a pay-per-view event to England and defended the belt there. Like that's crazy.
He's done so much for the sport, and
he's left it also in such a good place. We were talking about if they do a pay-per-view event in England with Darren Till, like just how much UK talent there is now in the UFC. Like
And a lot of it is because of him.
Exactly, and just scrolling through Twitter and seeing all the people tweeting Bisping and saying thank you for the inspiration and stuff is crazy. The impact he's had.
I think the one that I retweeted, I think I retweeted John Annick's, because that was quite a good kind of like thank you message. And I retweeted Brendan Schaub.
Yeah,
because it was kind of the Brendan Schaub thing. Obviously, American. He mentioned putting England on the map, but he also said how he fought kind of in such a like kind of state in time where it was just full of PEDs. Kind of just a lot of drugs. And Bisping was always against that, always an athlete, and kind of, despite his trash talk, always a gentleman.
Yeah, I watched yesterday. Finished watching the GSP and Rogan podcast, and GSP talks about Bisping on it and how he has this sort of he loves him and he hates him at the same time, and talking about how he has so much respect for Bisping, and he always said like he wanted to fight him because they stand for a lot of the same things in the sport and stuff. So, and that was, I mean, thinking about it now, it's weird that I watched that and then the day after he retires, because it was almost like GSP was giving Bisping a send off. Like it was a really nice moment. And also it's crazy to think that Bisping headlined Madison Square Garden. Like
mad.
That guy from The Ultimate Fighter, the scrappy English guy that everyone hated, headlined Madison Square Garden.
Many still do hate.
As the champion as well.
Brilliant.
Ridiculous.
But I think also we're going to quickly do, there's not going to be a podcast this week, so we're going to quickly do our predictions. I've also got Brad's up at the moment. So for the UFC Fight Night 131, headlined by Jimmy Rivera and Marlon Moraes, we're going to go through the whole 6-fight main card. But I think first we should speak about possibly the only fight we're going to watch because we are casual UK MMA fans.
I've got a story about maybe the most casual thing I've ever done.
Oh, go on.
At UFC Liverpool. I don't know whether to wait and save it so that for when Brad's here,
that's a preview.
I'll add it. I'll talk about it when we review the whole card, because guaranteed, even if this card has some barn burner fights on it, we will start reviewing this card and probably end up talking about Darren Till. That's just my prediction.
But I think, as I said, we're casual UK MMA fans, and we're only going to stay up to watch one fight, and that will be Nathaniel Wood. So, just kind of like a quick rundown and preview. Kyle, you don't know him personally, but you know him best. So, who is Nathaniel Wood?
He is making his debut after coming up from Cage Warriors, where he defended the belt 3 times, I think. The bantamweight belt. He's Brad Pickett's protege. Excellent striking, very similar to Darren Till in the way that he strikes. I don't know. I'm actually not too sure what his background is. But yeah, I mean, he's an English striker. That tells you, what you need to know. And I'm so excited for his debut. I mean, all of this drama in the last couple of days with the stuff with Till and then the actual fight and stuff, my head is still a bit crazy. So it hasn't hit me yet, but I'm already pretty nervous because of how much hype there is around Nathaniel Wood if he goes in and loses. But he's great. He really is.
Is it quite telling that he debuts in the same week Bisping retires?
That is a nice little story going in.
That's quite a good, not a passing, a passing of the guard.
It surprises me how low down he is on the card. He's on the Fight Pass prelims of a fight night, and that surprises me because although obviously he's coming up from Cage Warriors, he hasn't like set the world on fire, but his fight with Josh Reed that was a 1-round fight was a Fight of the Year nomination from a lot of companies. Like it went pretty big online in like the MMA community.
It's insane.
And in his last fight, I can't remember how quickly he destroyed the guy, but landed a perfect KO that also went pretty big. So it surprises me that he's not being pushed a little bit more. It also surprises me that he's on the card a week after Liverpool, like that they couldn't have made that work. But
That's
you know,
the way it goes.
yeah.
But looking to the main card, first fight, Kyle, Gian Vellante versus Sam Alvey. How do you see it going?
I feel like this is one of those light heavyweight matchups which nobody really needs to see. But
It's
I
going to
think
happen.
yeah, I don't remember who John Volante's last fight was, but I feel like he won. I very vaguely remember that.
I
I'm
think
gonna
didn't
go.
Sam Alvey beat Rashad Evans?
Yes.
Yeah, so he beat Rashad Evans, lost to Ramazan Emiv, and then beat Marcin Pranchnio. And then Gian Vellante beat Francimar Barroso, but in his last fight. But 2 fights before that, lost to Pat Cummings and then Shogun Hua.
Wow. I was going to go John Valente, but that's sort of swayed me a little bit more to Sam Alvey if he's on a bit of a run. Whereas John Valente, I mean, John Valente did win his last fight, but I don't know. I'm going to pick John Valente. I feel like he's at a really good camp. I feel like he's got the potential to be one of not like I'm not talking obviously like top 5 light heavyweights, but I do feel like
Well, to be fair, with the way this division is at the moment.
Yeah, he very well could be. I feel like he has the technical skill to be in that upper echelon, and I feel like Sam Alvey is always on that border. So that the both of them are, to be fair. So this could be the fight that propels one of them up. But yeah, I'll take John Vellante by decision.
Brad went exactly the same as you, Vellante via decision. I've gone Sam Alvey via decision. I think you said it right. This is going to spring him up.
I'm a little bit reluctant now to pick John Vellante after the Verdict MMA protege
I
has
don't
picked
like to
against
brag,
him.
but I don't like to brag, but I'm surprised I haven't mentioned it yet. But I have written an article about it, so that can be viewed on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I got number 86 in the world for UFC Liverpool predictions. I predicted every main card fight correctly, and won my first championship belt ever. I can't quick little plug, but I write my reviews of my picks on Verdict MMA and tweet them out when I'm currently looking to make it to number 1, which probably won't happen.
No, well,
anytime soon.
You never know. I mean, I don't even think of my predictions until we do the podcast, so yeah, nice. I don't plan mine out as well. But
to be fair, like in the UFC Chile card, I got 889th. So I've improved by 800 positions. That's a pretty good improvement. But so yeah, I've gone Sam Alvey. I've gone against both Brad and Kyle, but we've both gone via decision. In the second fight, Julio Arca, the fighter, not the former Paraguayan left back.
Wow, that is some knowledge.
The only problem is, so I used to have this DVD of the 2002 World Cup.
Right.
And I used to watch it constantly as a kid. And Julio Arca in that World Cup scored a stunning free kick for Paraguay. And that's why I just remember. So it's yeah, that's a little bit of knowledge to write home about there.
Wow.
But he's facing Daniel Tamer, who Kyle got a bit excited about when he saw the fight, because he was confused whether he just got the first name wrong or that the guy has a brother. Well, turns out they are brothers, but
yeah.
So Kyle, who do you have, Arca or Tamer?
I don't know anything about either of these guys, to be honest with you. Apart from
a free kick.
Yeah, I was going to say that his brother's David Tamer, but yeah, that also.
Some solid information you have on both fighters.
Yeah.
Daniel has a brother. Arca can play football.
Well, I've seen that Daniel Tamer lost his first fight in the UFC. I'm assuming he's a very good striker. This could be a good fight because Julio, I don't know how you say it, Arca, I guess I'll
Arca.
say. Yeah.
The Paraguayan left back
Mm.
is pronounced Arca. So.
Well, we'll go with that. I've seen that he is on the UFC's website. He's a second degree MMA black belt under Tiger Shulman. So that's winning me over. He was Ring of Combat bantamweight and featherweight champion. That's winning me over right now.
See, I think Brad's screwed because he doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
Ah, yeah, yeah, he hasn't got a chance.
No. Looking at Brad's predictions, he predicted Arca, but by TKO.
Oh, yeah,
So
I was gonna go Arca TKO as well.
That's pretty much. I think that's Brad just closing his eyes and just pointing at random things, or he's gotten like his cat to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm gonna take Arca TKO in the third.
I think Brad's gone Arca TKO, and I've gone Arca, but by decision.
Ooh.
So I think we agree on that.
Yeah,
and that means Tamer's going to win. So looking into the next fight, which is quite a good fight, really. Jake Ellenberger versus Killer B Ben Saunders. Kyle, who do you have and how?
I'm gonna go Ellenberger. Do I want to go TKO or decision? I'm gonna go TKO in the second.
Ben Saunders got pieced apart by Alan Jobin, the best looking man in MMA.
Yeah, I like Ben Saunders, but it sort of feels like if he can't take his opponents down, then he's at a disadvantage, and I don't see him being
Damian Maia.
Yeah, and I don't see him being able to take Ellenberger down, who's quite a powerful wrestler. So I feel like Ellenberger's striking is better, not miles better, but better at least. So yeah, TKO in the second for Ellenberger.
Brad's gone Ellenberger decision, and I have also gone Ellenberger by decision. I think I agree with you. Kind of, Saunders is really good on the ground, but it's just a big struggle trying to get people down there, and especially with kind of someone as powerful as Ellenberger. I can't see much happening from it. In the third fight on the card, Walt Harris versus Daniel Spitz. Kyle, who do you have and why?
I'm gonna go Walt Harris. I don't know if to go decision, but it is a heavyweight fight. I'm gonna go
It's heavyweight, and I did a bit of research on this, and they are both big hitters.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Walt Harris with a first round KO. Also, credit to Daniel Spitz for maybe having the best nickname on the whole card with Daddy Longlegs.
Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah, so you can't be mad at that.
Both of them have lost to Mark Godbeer. But obviously, Walt Harris's was slight controversy.
Yeah.
I've gone with Daniel Spitz via first round KO. I think he's a big underdog, but I think he's got some good history, and I think he can beat Walt Harris. Harris's record doesn't look great, 10-7. So, and Brad went Spitz by decision. So he didn't do his research well enough.
No, I think he might have picked someone at random again there.
I think he thinks it's a kind of like a welterweight wrestling match. Like not too heavy hitters in the heavyweights.
No, he has no idea.
Co-main event: Gregor Gillespie versus Vink. Is it Vince or Vink? I never actually knew this. Vink Pichel. Who do you have and why?
I'm going to go with Gillespie. He's just better. I mean, that's just I'm going to go with a third round TKO for Gillespie.
I think that the odds are crazy on this one. I think the odds in favour of Gillespie are insane.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just trying to check them now. Yeah, so Pichel is 7-2 underdog, and Gillespie is 2-9.
Oof.
So I don't know what that is in
No, I never
Uh,
never understand that.
no, I struggle with converting it into kind of the way the
Yeah,
UFC do it in America,
yeah,
but it's a
yeah.
big difference.
Oh, this is
Uh,
for sure been put here to give Gillespie another jump.
oh yeah,
That's for sure what the UFC want.
uh, I've gone with Gillespie, KO or TKO in the second round, and Brad's gone the same. He's gone Gillespie by TKO. And now to the main event. Kyle's favourite fighter, Jimmy
I
Rivera.
I don't hate Jimmy
It's
Rivera.
another compared to your hatred towards Kamaru Usman and Neil Magny.
I don't. First of all, I don't hate Kamaru Usman. I think he seems like a good dude. It's just, I don't like his fighting style sometimes. Neil Magny has won me over slightly. I will say we'll talk about that on the review next week. But he
Is
he
that
gave a
relating?
bunch of his money to a
Yeah,
kid
no, I
who's
saw
having
about that.
surgery, and
Gave
he
what was it,
said
10,000, fifteen
I think it was
thousand?
15,000, and he said thank you to Craig White for taking the fight because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to give that
Yeah,
money.
done that.
And he
Yeah,
looked
fair
good,
play to him.
so and he wants to fight Usman, and I like that fight. So he's won me over slightly. Jimmy Rivera, I just don't like watching, but it's not because he's not good. He's really good. I just he beats everybody comfortably, like so
Frankie
comfortably.
Edgar.
Where it's like, oh, I want to watch a fight, not a, and he doesn't maul them either. It's not like Khabib where I'm like, I want to watch him because he's gonna smash somebody. He just beats them. Like,
Nullifies them.
yeah, and people don't really know what just happened. They're like, well, I couldn't outstrike him and I couldn't grapple him. I don't know what to do. So,
So
yeah,
who do you have?
I'm
Jimmy
going.
Rivera or Marlon Moraes?
Oh, my heart says Moraes, but my head says Rivera. I'm
It's
gonna
always that
go.
thing, never bet against Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, I
And I think
know.
that's kind of the same thing with Jimmy Rivera.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But Marlon Moraes looks so good. But Rivera, I'm gonna take. I still haven't decided. I'm gonna change my mind on this so many times. But I'm gonna go the safe bet. I'm gonna go Jimmy Rivera by a decision.
I have also gone Jimmy Rivera by decision. It's what I said. You never bet against Frankie Edgar. And it
I've
is
bet
the
against him
exact
too
same
many
with Jimmy
times.
Rivera. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Everyone bets. Everyone's like, no, you can't do it, and he always does. And I think he'll
Yeah,
do the same against Moraes.
but then again, Brian Ortega caught Frankie Edgar, Marlon Moraes.
That's very true.
I'm gonna go
But
back and forth on it. I mean, I'll be rooting for Moraes, but I just Rivera is just we haven't seen him tested, so there's nothing to say that he won't win this. I mean, but yeah,
and looking at Brad, what a surprise! He's gone for the underdog. He's gone for Moraes via TKO.
oh, did he put a round?
He didn't put around, but
Wow, wow,
he
Brad,
thinks Moraes is going to finish
I
Rivera.
I don't.
When was the last time Jimmy Rivera was finished?
Has he ever been finished? I don't think he has he?
Um, he's lost once. No, split decision.
Wow, split decision as well. I was gonna go Moraes by a split decision, but I just feel like Rivera he mixes it up too well. Like his takedowns. I don't know does Marlon Moraes have a wrestling background? I don't know if he has
I
any.
don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. Whereas I'm very comfortable in the fact that Rivera is a very good wrestler. So I think that might be the difference.
13 of Jimmy Rivera's last 17 wins have come via decision.
Yeah, I mean,
13.
he's not really like he's just not his fighting style isn't meant for finishing. He just nullifies you, and I feel like there might be some good exchanges between him and Rice, but eventually Rivera will take him down and
Yeah,
dominate him.
I can't see Rivera.
Wrestling,
I can see
always
him
prevails.
being put in trouble, but I can't see him
Yeah,
kind of in too much trouble.
yeah.
So that brings an end to what was meant to be a short, just quick review of the podcast, review of the Darren Till fight, but ended up being longer than planned.
Ah well, We could talk about MMA for ages.
Yeah.
So this is
we
short.
Talk about Darren Till for ages.
We spoke for 3 hours about Emmanuel Yarbrough, so believe us when we say this is a short podcast.
If you don't know who Emmanuel Yarbrough is, please search him up. I'm currently the only man in the Emmanuel Yarbrough fan club. And we have come up with an idea that we may do in the future if MMA news is lacking of doing a fantasy fantasy heavyweight tournament bracket.
Yeah,
that will feature the likes of Gabby Garcia, Bob Sapp, Emmanuel Yarbrough, of course.
Yes. We've spoken about as well for next week doing who we think will be the champions in each division next year. But if this fight card has some entertaining fights and we talk about Darren Till,
never going to happen.
No, and we haven't done a debate in a while. Maybe we could do the debate based around that or something.
It's going to be next. Enjoy your week off from us, because next week's going to be a long show.
Yeah, for sure.
Kyle, where can they find you on Twitter?
Kyle_Diamond.
You can find me Connor.Whelan73 and at Whelan Writes on WordPress to find all of my blog and articles and stuff. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.